Dan, here we are. What a frightening sound that would be. So today's video, I've got a little surprise behind the old magazine here. So you have to put it when we're just talking about the V1 a little bit with the magazine behind it. Obviously that's the A9, A10 V2. That's the next one, isn't it? Oh, that was the one that we're going to build to attack the United States. Huh, you know me, unscripted crap. That's the V1. This side, the FZG-76 ramjet missile, more often known as a V1, weighed 4,588 pounds with 150 gallons of fuel and 1,870 pound warhead. This device had a range of 130 miles and accuracy about 8 miles radius. I believe they had wooden wings, steel fuselage. I was watching something yesterday that said they didn't just run out of fuel. There was a little apparatus in there that would turn the ailerons that way down so it would go into a terminal dive. And also the rudder had this little guillotine inside that would snip the rudder control, so this thing was fixed once it was going down over. So, excuse me, just having a bank holiday Sunday drink of beer, keep ourselves cool. So, like a lot of things you buy on eBay, I bought something which is behind the magazine, and it's led me to do a bit of research on the V1 bomb. As always, I'm open to anyone's criticism or comments, or you've got that wrong. I don't mind. You know, it's only an amateur fun thing that I'm doing here on YouTube. Doesn't pay the bills. So the V1 flying bomb developed 1943, the first test of the rocket jet engine, and the first launch in December 43. It was run by the Luftwaffe because it was seen as a flying piece of machinery. So they're in their sphere of influence. Excuse me. Commonly known as the V1 or buzz bomb or doodle bug, simply because of the noise it made when it was flying along. So for those who don't know, which I think anyone watching this channel doesn't know what a V1 bomb is, where have you been? And that obviously at the beginning was the sound of one buzzing over, goes silent when it stops, its engine's turned off, and it basically hits the ground, a flying bomb. So the first one to hit Britain and London was on the 13th of June 1944. The first one recorded on one site is in Kent. The first one in London was a place called Grove Road, which I'll get to in a minute, connected with the item. Last one, 27th of March 1945. Now, the strange thing, how history comes round to not repeat itself, but things from your memory, from your childhood. When I was a very young kid, at junior school, possibly infant school, we had a teacher, and she said that she remembers or witnessed, again, mists of time, it was a long time ago since I was at junior school, that she remembers a doodle bug crashing nearby where she was living. I don't know if she was evacuated or not, but basically, Christmas Eve 1944, what the Germans started doing, they were flying Heinkel 111s from Holland, I believe, and they were launching V1 bombs over the North Sea, like a rudimentary cruise missile, to the north of England. Now, where I live, a lot of industry, shipyards, steelworks, chemical plants. Even to this day, there's still a lot of industry. But in those days, lots of it. Some of my other videos, you've seen me at sites on the moors. There was one I did on the moor. I didn't know what it was till someone told me. I think it was Andrew Johnston told me that it was like a decoy site. There is some further over now where there's a lot of industry now, but at the time there wasn't, the flat marshlands. So they would light fires to detract the enemy bombers from the industry. So Christmas Eve 1944 in my little hometown, a V1 bomb on the Northeast War Diaries, it says was observed or heard, so whatever, going over my hometown. It crashed in a place called Tudhoe, which I think is, as the crow flies, possibly 10-15 miles away. So if you think they had an 8 mile radius sort of target these things, it probably could have been aimed for the chemical works in the area, maybe not. It landed on a cricket pitch or cricket pavilion and injured 11 people. So that probably would have been the one that my teacher saw at the time. Also, while I'm just thinking on, I'd like to do a quick shout out for a channel that I've just started interacting with, Chris Furs Militaria. So Chris Furs Militaria, go and give him a look. Does various interesting World War II items in a professional manner, not like me. So yeah, Chris Furs Militaria, give him a look. So, right, subject of today. So, let's have a look. Oh, 2000, I think, was it 2,419 of these things were launched against Britain. I wrote down 2,419. Could have been the amount of people that were killed. So forget that bit. So on the 13th of June at 4:25 in the morning, it was said that people heard what they thought was a motorbike without a silencer on a badly maintained steam train going uphill. That was the noise of the V1 bomb. The powers that be were aware of these things prior to this, but seeing them in action was another thing entirely. So it cut out and hit the railway bridge at Grove Road in Bow and it killed 6 people. So it damaged the railway bridge so much so that the railway was down for 40 hours. It's the rail line that goes into Liverpool Street Station. Now, the temporary railway bridge was there till 1947-48. There was a historical plaque put up there in 1985, which was later stolen, and it was then replaced in 1990. So, without showing me my little sketch, Grove Road and the railway bridge sort of form a thing like that. So the road goes under the railway bridge, railway there. Here, there was a factory. It's gone now, it's just green grass. The factory was called John Wright and Son Veneers. So, John Wright and Son Veneers. I haven't been able to find out what they were involved with war-wise. Veneers are not veneers for teeth. It's veneers like a composite wood. Could have been involved in making mosquito parts. Who knows? There was a big wooden sort of carpentry firm near to where I live, and that was involved with making mosquito parts. I haven't been able to find out anything, but they probably would have been involved in some sort of war production. Now, that's where the factory was. They had they were famous for inventing some sort of wooden lathe. That's all I've been able to find out. Long since gone. Now, we'll have a little look. And what is it? Oh, look, Stan, it's a tankard. How boring. Yes, but this tankard, that was just me paperweight, I'll get me a magnifying glass. Where's that? Unscripted, unrehearsed rubbish as always, but still understand. You know what you're getting when you come here. So, I have to bring it to the can. Can you see that? Basically, it's saying, presented by the chairman of John Wright and Sons Veneers Limited to Mr. J. King for recognition of his duties as spotter during the war and especially since the 16th of June 1944 and during the Doodle Bug danger, in inverted commas. Now, it's sort of, also grammatically correct, it's probably me. But so this fella, now I've been looking up, this is where I probably need a bit of help, because I wanted to get this video out there and I didn't research it properly, but aircraft spotter, could he have been military, the army? I think they had aircraft spotters, or the ROC, Royal Observer Corps. Haven't been able to find out whether there was a Royal Observer Corps station post on top of the factory, but I believe it was quite common for them to be on top of factories with naval type binoculars. Or was he a civilian? I haven't been able to find that out. I'm probably never going to find out who J. King is. So he was on top of the factory. That's where his duties were, an aircraft spotting on that factory, which was literally right next door to the railway bridge that got blew up. Now, whether he was there on the 13th of, if that was the 13th of June 1944, that tanker, that'd be even better. But the 16th of June to the 18th, 37 V1s were launched against London and they killed 129 people. So whether that Doodle Bug danger is referring to the 16th of June and that sort of small part in time, I find it odd that if this is obviously after the war that he's been given this, that to say the 16th of June doesn't sort of tie in together. But, could be me reading it wrong again. Anyone's got any ideas? But yeah, it's a glass-bottomed pewter tankard. Very nice. Now what it's done, it was on eBay. and it sort of ran out. It was running out of time, and I couldn't get my phone out quick enough to buy it. And the guy relisted it, and I just said, "You're 20 quid. You want £20 for that? I'll buy it straight away," because I thought that looks interesting. That's going to make me do a bit of research, and now I'll forevermore know exactly where the first Doodlebug hit London. Again, just a small, cheap item, but a nice thing to find out about. So I'm not gonna drink out of it because apparently Cast Pewter, it does say on here somewhere. It says there 1 pint. It says there Cast Pewter has lead in it, so you don't want to be drinking that. And also, it tastes awful, doesn't it? But I do have a small and perfectly formed little collection of other little tankards. 1916. So I don't know who he is. Just bought that. It was really cheap, and I kind of put it there together. Now, what I should do, I'm probably just getting I'm getting messages off John Shannon to do videos. I'm doing one now, mate. Anyway, right. What I probably should do, set up a little display and get a little model of a V1 flying bomb to go with it. I actually thought I had one, but I haven't. So if anyone's got a V1 flying bomb model out there and they say, "Hey Stan, you can have it," because I don't want it, I don't mind. No, I'll buy one. It's all right. I'll buy one. Buy one under the radar. So there we go. Take that out of the way. So this is my tankard presented to Mr. J King, aircraft spotter and Doodlebug bug watcher, 1944. I'm never going to find out who he is, probably, but it's a nice thing to commemorate the first, find out about the first V1 that hit the UK, hit London, and also ties with my little story about my teacher telling me about the one that flew over my little town all them years ago. Probably could do with one flying over now, isn't it, in the town centre? Looks like it already has been demolished. Anyway, that's enough of me chittering on now for nearly 13 minutes. This is Stan, and we'll see you.